On the screen with me is the subreddit for the blind and visually impaired community. And this has 21,400 members. And at the very top is a thread pinned by moderators. And it has 2,900 upvotes. And it says, they finally did it. Reddit made it impossible for blind Redditors to moderate their own sub. And so now I have the tab with the thread open on it. And I'm going to read just a few excerpts from this original post. And it says, since the latest quote unquote accessibility update to the Reddit app, the amount and magnitude of new accessibility related bugs has made it virtually impossible for blind mods to operate on mobile. And this next paragraph is especially bad. It says, we have done absolutely everything we could to work with Reddit and have given them every opportunity. When they offered to host a demo of the update, we understood how little they understand about accessibility. They did not respond to a request to use the app with screen curtain on. The only fair conclusion is that they cannot use it without sight, but expect us to. The update introduced various regressions and new bugs. This is entirely within the expectations of the mod team, given how rushed it was and how Reddit continues to demonstrate how underprepared they are to deal with accessibility. And then it continues, but what about the quote unquote accessibility apps? And then it says, this may not work at this time. It is impossible to log into Red Reader. They shouldn't have to work. Reddit made a business decision to effectively remove users' access to third-party apps. And then it says, what now for our blind? The subreddit will continue operating under the care and stewardship of its visually impaired and sighted moderators. Let us be clear, our blind cannot be moderated by blind people. And then so the thread continues on, and there are 254 comments currently. And so I will link to this in the YouTube description below. But this is ridiculous, but it's not uncommon. I have seen this before. Reddit has all of the resources to integrate accessibility into its processes and to ensure that its platform is fully accessible. So they have all of the resources necessary, but reading these first few paragraphs, it doesn't even sound like there's it doesn't even sound like they're covering the basics. And then so what's especially bad is when you have the blind and visually impaired community imploring you to make your app accessible and then offering to help and giving you opportunities to make it accessible, and then you offer to host a demo of the update. You're it's so ridiculous. It's just asinine. You're going to tell the blind and visually impaired community about accessibility and host a demo to show the update and how the app or the platform is accessible. It's just ridiculous, and it's extremely embarrassing for Reddit that at this point in time that accessibility is not a priority, and we're still going through these very basic problems that shouldn't even exist. But it's come to this. It's come to a thread on our blind explaining that people who are completely blind cannot moderate a subreddit for the blind and visually impaired community. So I think this speaks for itself. The thread is very interesting. I will link to it below. The comments are also insightful, but this is a problem, and it's not one that is uncommon. I think this it's almost like a polite refusal. It's not an outright refusal, because then you wouldn't want those words in print. But when you have a situation where someone is trying to help you with accessibility, and you just won't even engage in that discussion, and then hosting a demo it's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to link to this below, and that's it.